So this is just going to be my animal rights slash vegan video where I go over some arguments for animal rights. Obviously, pretty much all these arguments have been made before, but I'm just going to be reinstating them in my unique way. And also, I'm probably going to be pausing the video quite a bit just to, I don't know, maybe think things over, make sure I say it the right way. So yeah, there's going to be that. So sorry about that, but that's what it is. Okay, so animal rights. So if you understand evolution, then you understand that other non-human animals, they pretty much, well, a huge chunk of them anyway, they think, they feel, they have emotions, and are living some kind of subjective narrative in their head, living, trying to navigate life in their own way, just like us. And the only difference is between us and them is that, well, we have more intelligence than them, right? So this means basically that animals are just mentally disabled humans, the other ones. And I'll hear people talk like, oh, animals are, don't feel the same as us, or that they are like, but we aren't animals, which is just stupid. I think these come from religious morons, but I mean, I don't know why I hear this so much, but we are animals and they do feel the same as us. It doesn't matter if I stick a knife in a monkey's paw or a pig's shoulder or in your eye or in a rat's nose. It's of equal value. It's equally bad. Somehow people want to put humans above the other animals, the other mammals, and all this stuff. Like, no, that's not how that works. So now that we know that the other animals feel the same as us, um, the same ethics that applies to humans, the same rights we've given each other to, or that we've created to have a good quality of life, also applies to the other animals. So, I mean, so if we're going to be farming animals, it should be the same ethically as farming mentally disabled people, or a person of a different color, or a person of a different sex. Because, I mean, that's the only differences, right? I mean, they're different species than us, but they've got all the other stuff that makes them worthy of consideration in this sense. So now, ethics is about the consequences of your actions and reducing your blood footprint. Now, there's no such thing as a harmless, life. You'll be in your life, the actions you take, you'll be screwing over some kind of animal or some kind of human pretty much all the time. But if you want to die to have your tombstone say a decent, ethical person, yeah, you got to do things like not drink and drive, not steal, and not pay for the harm and paying for the harm and exploitation of animals. And it is exploitation. You're exploiting sentient creatures for your own gain, whether it be for entertainment or appetite or some other bullshit. You shouldn't exploit anything for your own gain. And these exploitations are in the form of experimenting on animals, owning a pet, dairy, egg industry. I mean, we have the brain to help, like give the brain for vaccines and all this stuff to give the animals. We can help the weakest and the stupidest among us. But we're like, oh no, what if I slice off that chunk of body on that pig and fry it up and eat it? Like, it's just, I mean, even giving an animal a quick death in this manner is just rude and disrespectful to the animal. I mean, people will love their dogs and go to war for their dogs and their cats, but somehow when it comes to pigs and chicken and cows, it's fuck them. Like it's so pathetically hypocritical. I mean, what if the same hypocrisy was applied to aliens and humans? So let's say aliens wanted to come here and farm and cage and experiment on humans because they wanted to, or they needed our bodies for their nutrition, or some other bullshit like that. And let's say it all came down to me. The aliens randomly selected me out of all the people and said, make an argument why we shouldn't do this to all the other humans. I mean, what argument would I make? I'd say, well, the aliens have rights that protect them from suffering. We also suffer, so we should be given those rights. And that's the exact same argument that applies to us and the other animals. They should be free from this pain and suffering. And I'd argue, well, yeah, us humans have less intelligence than you aliens, but we feel and have emotions just like you, so we are of equal value. Your extra intelligence doesn't mean anything. And if even the torment and exploitation you're causing undoes any kind of nutritional value you can get out of us, it's not worth it. And in that sense, I argue, yeah, if not eating animals, it'd be more malnourished and less and more chance of having becoming sick. I'd still say you're ethically obligated to do that. It's like, because I mean, you have to justify your stupid, lame, pathetic, useless existence, right? To do, if you want to say that my existence is worth that. I mean, if smoking cigarettes every day meant that, kids were prevented cancer, yeah, you're obligated to start smoking cigarettes every day, right? It's saying all this shit, oh, I need my nutrition, I need my taste buds, blah, blah, blah. I mean, basically saying the pleasure of the rapist is worth the suffering of the rape victim. It's just so stupid. Like I've worked in pig farms. I grew up on a pig farm. I've worked many times in a pig farm. I mean, I've seen the suffering firsthand. There's wounds, there's diseases, parasites. I can tell you one story in particular. Um, so this is before I was an efilist or a vegan I was just really depressed. But whatever, maybe I'll go about that in another video. But so I have to do this job in the pig barn. I think it's pressure washing or something, right? There's different areas of the barn, right? Because it's all sows, right? Like there's sows that are waiting, that are pregnant, that they're waiting to give birth. They put them in this room in the barn, and then ones that are waiting to grow up to have babies. They're in this other room, because if you're a boar, I mean, you can get a lot of semen out of one boar, so you don't need nearly as many boars as a sow. So, but anyway, so the manager's showing me around what to do, and then we walk by one pig pen full of sows, female pigs, right? So, and there's this one sow that's not eating, so we don't know what's wrong with her. She's like sitting down, she's like shaking and like whimpering and grunting softly. We're saying, oh, she's probably gonna die. We don't know what's wrong with her. I still don't know, but it was some kind of disease or something. So whatever, yada yada yada. I go about my work, blah blah blah, and we come back, or I come back to that room, and I see them taking that pig out of that pen and have it in the alleyway, and it's still shaking hard. Can't move, won't move. And the worker is needing to get this pig moving, so he's like sticking his hand like in the pig's anus or vagina, whatever it is, and trying to lift it up and get it moving, but it won't do that. Now I will say the employee wasn't trying to like hurt the pig intentionally, but the employee needs to do a job, get this pig out of the way, moving, whatever, or they have to euthanize it on the spot. So they gotta like do something that'll hurt the pig. But yeah, so whatever, the pig doesn't move, so whatever, he walks away, and so I'm here with this pig that's shaking, whimpering again, grunting softly, and I just look at this animal in the eyes, right, and just the pure, just misery and suffering and pain in this pig's eyes that just looks at me shaking. It's just so horrible. It really stuck with me through the years, and then yeah, so whatever, blah blah blah. I do some more work. Let's say I think I came back, and then yeah, the pig was dead, like not so long ago, like maybe half hour, an hour, and yep, laying on the. I don't think it was euthanized. I think it died from whatever it caused it, whatever it was suffering from. But yeah, it's just all these people always saying, oh, all these animal rights are pussies and fuck them, and I'm gonna eat my fucking bacon. I mean, it's just like you'd cause that suffering that I saw. That I had this moment of compassion with this other sentient being on planet Earth, and you think your fucking bacon sandwich is worth that? So yeah, so I also wanted to address some disagreements I have with a lot of vegans think, particularly about wildlife. So in my opinion, if you eat roadkill, you didn't pay for any exploitation or harm to an animal, so there's nothing wrong with that. Same with eating meat that's just gonna get thrown out. That's good to eat, won't get you sick. I mean, you gotta give it to your dog or eat it. You don't just throw out good food. The animal's already been paid to be tortured and killed. So yeah, you should eat it just so it doesn't go to waste, just to make use of it. Same with leather. The cow's already been tortured and killed, so why throw away its perfectly good skin? Might as well make as much use of the animal as you can. I mean, to me, that makes perfect sense. But the biggest disagreement I have with a lot of other vegans is this love of nature. Like somehow nature is good for animals, which is just really, really stupid, in my opinion. So yes, nature tortures animals on a scale far, far, far that outweighs any torture that humans do to animals. Now, so it's I mean, mass disease, parasitism, being eaten alive. I mean, you're just being born, immediately snatched up and eaten alive. I mean, completely sick, cruel, sadistic. And that's because nature doesn't have a brain. It's just a force. It's just a DNA that replicates, and over years it's gained tools. It's gained stuff like feeling, and yeah, and then that causes suffering because animals obviously don't know any better. So any vegan that thinks, it's okay if nature tortures an animal. It's only bad if a human does it. Is an idiot. And it's all releasing the animal into the wild is just it's just so sick and stupid. I mean, nature is better for an animal in a psychological sense that animals in captivity will be bored or they'll be psychologically tormented by their small cage or something like that. Whereas out in the wild, where they were naturally evolved, they will be, more less tormented. They will be more in their role, so to speak. In that sense, okay, but I mean, the physical pain and suffering that animals go through in nature is not even close to being worth it. And yeah, releasing animals into the wild, like this whole feral cat thing. So we take the cat, we kidnap it, take it off the street, and then they give surgery to castrate it, and then they put it back on the street, which is stupid. Which in my eyes, yeah, you just euthanize the cat instead of putting it on the street back. Sorry, to eke out a stupid existence of suffering and fear. Just put down the cat. I mean, we've got tons of cats, too many of them. So just start euthanizing them as humanely and as compassionately as possible. What's wrong with that? But yeah, people say, "Oh no, you're killing animals. You can't do that," which I disagree with. Now, this whole nature wildlife thing, yeah, that leads to fishing, hunting, and trapping. Now, yes, anyone that enjoys killing or hurting animals, I'm saying, jail time or death penalty even for them. That's what I'm saying. So, but it's like fishing, right? I mean, if you're gonna fish, and the fish is just gonna die out in the wild, eaten up, or disease, or starvation, or suffocation, or some other horrible way. So yeah, if you fish and kill it as quickly as you can, yeah, that's not a bad thing. But I mean, how can this be fun? Oh, you tricked a less intelligent animal with bait and dragged it with a hook through the water. What? Like, how can this be a fun thing to do? I remember one time, fishing with my dad and my brother. We caught some fish and we were dragging, we were reeling it in or whatever. And when we pulled it up to shore, yeah, it had a hook. It was hooked. It had a hook through the mouth, and then it came out through the eye. Because it went a bit on it, and then the pull, it got stuck inside, dragged to the water like that. So like, the fact that you could do that to an animal, make it suffer like that's that's fun to you. That's, oh yeah, well, we don't feel it. They're just dumb fish. Like, how can this be fun? Now, with hunting and trapping, I mean, in the sense that we want to humanly euthanize wild animals as much as possible because they're going to suffer horribly, yeah, I'm for it. But that's not what the vast majority of hunters and trappers are not doing it for that reason. They're doing it for fun or for money, which, in my opinion, is wrong. So yeah, I mean, I've taken a hunting course and a trapping course, and they want to do this conservation of animals thing. So, but they also want to intervene and euthanize the animals. Like they're doing the right thing for the wrong reason, but it's not even the right thing. Because if you want to, they want to continue the cycle of life and death of wild animals, which is just stupid. We should break the cycle so there's no more death, no more suffering, period. But they want to reduce the animal population a little bit, but not go extinct and all this other shit, which is, I mean, good in a sense, but again, right thing for the wrong reason, and doing the right thing for the wrong reason will never lead to, it won't lead to the best thing. It will just lead to a weak, better, a weak, not quite right version of it, in my opinion. So, like, because they trophy hunt the hunters, So let's say there's a weak, sickly, dying deer grazing, and then a big, healthy buck with big antlers. Yeah, they're gonna shoot the big buck with the big antlers and see, and then take a picture with the buck, like, oh look what I killed, look at the big antlers, blah blah blah. Again, so if you wanted to care about the suffering of the animals, you would kill the sick, dying, weak deer because it's clearly suffering compared to the healthy deer, the healthy buck. I mean, you should shoot both of them if you can, if you got like a buddy or something. But like, why? So again, so it's not about the euthanization of animals. It's some other selfish, stupid reason like trophy hunting. And again, shooting bucks is stupid. It's like the boar-sow ratio or something. If you just shoot this buck, and the buck is going to impregnate the female, the doe, and continue the cycle. If you want to reduce the population of deer, you're going to have to shoot the fawn, the baby deer, and the doe. That's what you have to kill to actually reduce the population of deer in the wild. So, like, that's just stupid this hunting, trapping reasons that they use it is just. But anyway, I mean, we also have to understand any like species that you severely reduce the population of, let's say in the wild, then that'll affect another species in the biosphere, so like wolves or some other shit. So this bullshit of hunting some deer and trapping some wolves, a continuing cycle of suffering of animals being born and dying, and they will suffer and competing and all this bullshit. It's not gonna work. Okay, you need a global, massive human intervention into wildlife harm prevention. You need to basically drive as much as the biosphere extinct as you possibly can. Which I'm gonna go in another video. I'm gonna be talking about ephilism and extinction of life and blah blah blah. So stay tuned for that, I suppose. But yeah, I think that's what I wanted to address as far as hunting, trapping goes. Let's see here. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to address. So on to some, I guess, nutrition. Right, I'm sorry, I'm just checking my notes here. So nutrition. So yeah, nutrients. You can get all essential nutrients you need from plants alone. You don't need animal products. Now, ethics is the only real reason I care about veganism. So yeah, I'm not gonna touch too much on the subject. But I mean, yeah, in my eyes, we are not natural carnivores, not natural meat eaters. We are herbivores that learned to eat meat because we gain, stuff like fire, tools. I'll just go over some points why I'm convinced of that. So okay, so where to start? So they'll tell me that I hear this myth that milk is necessary. If you don't drink enough milk, your bones will snap and then you'll die in a year or two. Now this is just hype. This is just some bullshit invented because you need calcium for your bones, right? And you can get all the calcium you need from plants. You don't need milk or vitamin D. You can get enough vitamin D from the sun. You have to use your brain. You just have to use common sense and look at this whole milk thing. You just have to look at how we evolved in our physiology. Okay, so we need milk to live. Milk is for baby mammals, but somehow we evolved to desperately get the essential nutrients we need, not from plants, but from a cow. We evolved to be dependent on a species' milk. Does that make sense to you? That we're adult humans and we need this milk, otherwise we'll die or be severely malnourished? No. Again, why only cow milk? Why not rat milk, dog milk? You could say, oh, well, cows are bigger and they have more protein for the calf, so it has to be cow milk. Okay, what if elephant milk, giraffe milk? Those creatures are way bigger than us, or us and the cows, so why not milk from them? Why didn't we evolve to suckle in the teats of elephants to get this vital, essential nutrient? So you start thinking about it and saying, well, obviously this whole milk thing is a load of bullshit. We're adult mammals of another species. We don't need cow milk to fucking live. It's stupid to think that. Like isn't it like 70 or 80% of the world is lactose intolerant? And somehow, oh my god, this calcium and vitamin D deficiency is just running rampant and killing everyone because they're lactose intolerant and they're not drinking milk, so they're dying. No, that's not what's happening at all. So it's a load of bullshit. So, but we obviously, a lot of the Europeans, we evolved back in the day an ability to digest milk, but this is just from like domesticating cows. It's just another. You can get a bit of nutrition and calories from milk, so it's just another way to survive. So this, digesting milk helped in the survival process. But yeah, you don't need it. It can help if you're surviving, but you don't need it. And then the evidence shows that, as I just explained, that it's just a little bullshit. So all this milk hype bullshit can be applied to meat also. Somehow we need meat for protein and we need meat for all these essential nutrients, which is just a complete lie. I mean, gore, blood, corpses, bones. I mean, nothing about this is appetizing. Even like wet fur is just stinky and gross and yucky. Looking at a rabbit hopping doesn't activate any hunger or desire to pounce. We don't have any teeth or claws for catching or killing or ripping flesh or crushing bones with our teeth. It's only palatable when you cook it and clean it. So, like, we can only start eating meat once we gain the intelligence for tools and fire. Then how we can start eating meat? But before then, early humans aren't meat eaters. We're eating plants. I mean, paleontologists, most of them say that we were mostly plant eaters back in the day, because not every hunt is successful, but gathering hunt plants can be very successful most of the time. And you just have to look at our evolution too, and this shit backs up. That's why we've evolved red and green receptors, and like dogs and cats, which are mostly colorblind. Well, so a couple colors they have, but not red and green. So that means we likely evolved because of seeing red fruit on a green background. that further indicates our plant eating evolution. Saying that like seeing a bloody dead animal ripped apart, nothing about that indicates food or hunger or anything. Now if I like take a pineapple and cut it and the juices start flowing and like you start salivating thinking about eating like a slice of mango or pineapple or something. So in my eyes that's good evidence that we're plant eaters, or fruit eaters or whatever, not meat eaters. I mean, lots of plants smell good, they're brightly colored, they're nice to interact with. I mean, bloody soaked gore animals just it's gross. Nothing about that's appetizing. In fact, the opposite is repulsive. People like meat because meat's usually seasoned a lot, lots of sauce, salt, it's been tenderized. You need to do all this processing shit to make meat palatable, yummy. I mean, it's seasoned with plants, the meat. You need plants to add flavor and all this shit. Otherwise, you're eating something that's like bloody cardboard. I mean, like, so yeah, I mean, even seaweed. Seaweed is like soggy, wet, cold, an environment we're not used to. Nothing about seaweed indicates food in its natural source. But yeah, if we do this processing thing, where we dry it out and add salt and blah blah blah, yeah, it can be a nutritious and yummy little, you can buy those like seaweed flakes in the store. Yeah, like they taste good to me anyway. And they nice little meal. Well, not a meal, but a nice little food source. Obviously, we're not meant to eat seaweeds. If we do this processing thing with our intelligence, now we can eat it in a good manner. Same with meat. We're not meat eaters until we gain the intelligence to eat meat, and then yeah, now we're herbivores that learned how to eat meat. So clear indication we don't need meat to live. Lots of evidence that's bad for us. If you look at our physiology, it's based on plants. Our saliva, has enzymes or carbohydrates. Our intestines, all the shit. So yeah, that's I think that's it as far as I wanted to talk about nutrition and the ability to eat meat and all this shit. So there's lots of vegan dietitians, nutritionists on YouTube, books, all kinds of shit if you want to know more. But that's just my take, because again, I'm about the ethics, basically. Nutrition, I mean, I guess it's important, but I don't really care too much about it, honestly. So yeah, so I thought I'd close out the video by reading anti-animal rights or anti-vegan counter-arguments on the internet. Just to show anyone sitting on the fence how hypocritical and stupid meat eaters are, saying, oh, vegans are pussies and all this shit, saying that we're the problem, we're the crazy psychos, the vegans are the animal rights people are crazy psychos, and the meat eaters are poor, innocent, gentle people, which is a complete fucking lie. There's all of vegans, vegetarians, animal rights people I've ever met were nice, enjoyable people, and lots of meat eaters saying, oh, kill yourself, vegan, kill all vegans, vegans suck, I'm gonna eat meat, I don't give a fuck, blah blah blah. So I thought it'd highlight their stupidity and on full display. So we'll do that then. I think I'll close out the video, end the video. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, just out of all positions I hold, atheism, right to die, efilism, animal rights, the anti-animal rights arguments are some of the stupidest, most vile, depraved, selfishest arguments I've ever come across. Like the counter arguments out of those positions, anti-animal rights is some of the most, and I'm going to highlight that. So I don't know, I'll just type in, I guess, anti-vegan arguments, see where that leads us. Anti-vegan Reddit, sure, fuck, let's go there. Oh no, what made, oh fuck, oh no. Vegan gets upset about what now? Whatever, I'm not gonna watch that. Plant-based mincemeat, well, I don't really eat that, so. How is that cringe? Oh my god. Okay, I'm not seeing any coherent things. You have to compulsively sexualize animals' food, you're stuck with soy bricks. Yeah, well, I'd rather eat a soy brick than a fucking dead corpse, retard. PETA, okay, whatever, fuck. Okay, just saying, these aren't arguments, this is just stupid, dumb cringe. Anti-vegan, oh no, okay, debate of vegan. Why are people so against veganism? Okay, so he started feeling sick, and now he can't, now he's to torture animals. Okay, great, what a great argument. Anti-indigenous? Fucking indigenism, how about that? keep in mind that if you're anti-vegan, you are pro-animal abuse. Yes, fair enough. Well, you know, I did mention my problems with vegans on some issues, especially nature, but yes, in a general sense, yes. I don't engage in trolly stuff like eating meat to mock people, tricking people eating meat. Yeah, this is what people do. They trick and troll vegans into eating meat and think it's funny. But vegans are the crazy asshole psychos, right? Yeah, sure we are. Okay, so this guy, I'm open to change. I embrace many values of veganism, okay. I do my best to ethical sourcing all my foods, okay, fine, good, sure. I have canine teeth for a reason. I recognize that I have rights as an animal and human being too. Okay, your little canine stubs that aren't good for much as far as eating meat, eating raw meat. Veganism is too narrow of a label. Yeah, sure, fine. There's abuse of animal life, plant life, bacteria life. There is abuse, yeah, by nature. Bacteria and plants can't feel, so why are we including them here? So again, I'm anti-nature, so yeah, I'm hypocritical. The pro-nature vegans are hypocritical. Maybe I should have like found some decent arguments before I started filming, because that it's not natural. We're animals and animals eat animals. Again, well, I made my arguments about the physiology and all that stuff. But again, I'm mostly for ethics, so animals eating animals. I don't give a fuck if animals eat animals. It doesn't mean you're allowed to, idiot. I'm against arguments if they are sentient. Does this guy understand what sentient means? We can only define sentience from our perspective. Why would we not apply? What? Why would we are clearly sentient? The animals are clearly sentient. The evidence is overwhelming. Even though they can't say I'm feeling. I don't think we get to classify sentience and choose where to draw the line. What the fuck? Guess this guy's just an idiot. You know, I can't. We can't say animals feel pain, so we go ahead and torture them. Like what? Maybe I should pause and find like a good anti-vegan, because some of these are pro-vegan and anti-vegan. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pause and find a good, like a really stupid one. These are bad. Okay, this one made me laugh. Yeah, oh, fuck, I gotta get rid of this. So this is ex-vegans. This is saying, oh, I felt so sick after eating plants and I almost died. So now I'm eating meat and now I feel stronger than ever. Blah 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 blah. Which it means nothing. It's just an antidote. I mean, a severe alcoholic can quit alcohol, which is a poison, and die from withdrawal. They can die from it. They can say, see, I almost died from alcohol, so alcohol's good. Because I almost died from quitting it. That's not how that works, retard, but whatever. Like, let's read this. Something similar happened to me when I quit veganism. For the rest of my life, I had a phobia of not eating enough meat. And I still keep a big meat freezer always stocked. This guy quit. He quit veganism and he had a phobia of not eating enough meat. A phobia. Vegans are pussies and weak losers and pansies. This guy has a phobia of not eating meat. And he's not a pansy? We're the pansies? Sure we are. Jesus Christ. If I said I have a phobia of eating meat, you'd call me a pansy and a pussy and a loser and a whatever. But this guy clearly not. No. God, I hate you. You're fucking so stupid. I stopped being vegan more than a year ago, and I'm not against veganism. Okay, fine then. That's fine. Fair enough. But like, I know there are people who have thrived on veganism, so I believe that nutrition is an individual thing. I mean, that's true. It's based on your genetics, but I mean, come on now. You don't need. No one needs me to live. I don't care how they feel. Again, I don't understand the science of why some people have to eat meat. There has to be a science to it. It can't just be, I feel like. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. But whatever, fine. Even today, when I was a vegan, I had an aversion to some of the vegans. Yeah, like I highlighted too. Like a lot of some of the positions that they hold are stupid, downright retarded. Many of them are not ready to see things beyond world social and humanitarian problems that are not related to animals. Fair enough. I mean, they only know how to recite the sex mantras. Fair enough. I mean, I'd agree. So you can find some reasonable people, some reasonable anti-vegan arguments. Not Miley. Yeah, they can be stupid. I'm not against being vegan. I have issues with specific kinds of vegans. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, stopping traffic to protest. I mean, That's not the way to go about it. That's being an asshole, in my opinion. So, that's fair. Okay, so that's a couple reasonable stuff, but there's very unreasonable assholes. So I'm gonna pause and find it again. I wanted to unpause for that one. It's funny. I had a phobia of not eating meat. What? Okay. Okay, I'll unpause because I thought about going on Facebook. Okay, some of the not even related to veganism or just just like subjects in general, like basic science or political or something. The dumbest fucktarded comments I've ever read in my life have been on Facebook. I mean, this is where the dumb of the dumbest motherfuckers go. So I do want to highlight some of them just because it's funny how stupid these arguments are. They're not even arguments. It's just selfish attitude. So let's see what we got here. Anti-vegan fan club. Right. Ew. True love. Oh, okay, dude. Okay. True love. Your love for meat. You, and your wants and your desires, and you do you. That's a dead animal, you asshole. You don't give a fuck. Because you want to... Ew, like that looks so fucking disgusting. I know you don't eat it like that. You cook it, but ew, just looking at it makes my stomach turn. How many people buy this in the store and think, yo, it's private? Oh, fuck that. It's all about these private groups I can't see more from anti-vegan. Stay healthy by eating bacon? Are you fucked? Ew, piss off vegans. Because people should be allowed to eat what they like. Oh, okay, fuck you. People should be allowed to eat what they like, not when it comes at the cost of someone else, retard. Piss off. People should be allowed to drink and drive when they want to. No, because you're causing... That's not even drinking and driving may cause harm to someone. It's not guaranteed. With veganism, it's guaranteed you're causing harm when you're eating meat. Guaranteed. Unless it's like, roadkill, but you know what I mean. Farm animals are bred for human consumption. What? Farm animal? Yeah. That's bad, retard. Jesus Christ. Slaves are bred to be the white man's... black people are bred to be the white man's slave. Stop saying people shouldn't be owned. Oh, wow, what great ethics. Oh, fucking... Ew. The great Homer once... Yeah, Homer's a piece of shit asshole human. Have you actually watched The Simpsons? So, not a great person to be quoting. Animals have rights, the right to be delicious. Exactly. How do animals make me feel? And fuck their feelings and fuck their suffering. How do they make me feel? Me. And my wants and my meal and my nutrition. Me. Again, aliens need to come here and say, me, I want to torture you to death. And they do that. And it'd be exactly what you fucking deserve. Piece of shit. Can you... Okay, I need to get off Facebook. This pop-up bullshit dump. Maybe there's one more thing there. Anti-vegan butchers? Oh no. This looks bad. Okay, whatever. First thing is she's got a lot of piercings and tattoos. Dinner is served. Wow, what an asshole. Is that thing blinking? What the fuck am I watching? Okay, I better... Ew. Let me get the fuck off Facebook. No, fuck Facebook forever. So again, quality of life. What is quality of life of animals being domesticated for meat? And other reasons, but meat. Like the pig story I told about the suffering cow. What's the best way to go about responding to something like this? To kill, the harvest crops, you need to kill animals. No shit. Did I not say there's no such thing as a harmless life? Right at the start of my fucking video, basically. Who doesn't know that, retard? So, we instantly kill some snakes and worms and blah blah blah. Again, worms, like, I don't think they can even feel pain. Like, what? So we kill these instantly, and that makes it okay to cage and torment and exploit cows and pigs and chickens and etc. Yeah, what's the logic there, right? How do I want to word this? So, yeah, again, I'm anti-life. I don't want anything to die or suffer because of me. But you're saying you're worth a cow dying because some of our crops are being kill some animals. You're not, unless you make a reason to justify your shitty, stupid, dumb, lame existence. Which I'd love to hear because I've never heard a rational one. Not a non-selfish one. I'm a pig and I'm a human and I want to eat. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna pause and find some more, I guess. Okay, this, oof. I typed in, anti-animal rights this time instead of anti-vegan, and holy fuck, we hit a gold mine because AI responded. Okay, anti-animal rights have used viewpoints posing the idea that animals deserve fundamental moral rights. Yes, true, fair. Core anti-animal rights arguments. Moral capacity. Animals lack the complex reasoning, moral agency, or capacity for moral judgment that humans possess, so moral duties to them aren't equivalent to duties between humans. So because they aren't as smart as us and can't figure out that, they don't have the complex reasoning and moral agency that we do, that now we are allowed to torture them and torment them and cage them. Yeah, like, they lack this stuff, so yeah, why can't we have dogfighting and cockfighting? Dogs don't have the moral agency, the complex reasoning that we do, so go ahead, allow dogfighting again. Allow bullfighting, all this shit. You're just too stupid. Human exceptionalism? Humans have unique cognitive abilities. Okay, fine, sure, whatever, we're more intelligent, fine. And a distinct moral status that justifies using animals for human benefit. So because we're smarter than them, we're somehow worth it. Your life is somehow worth. I mean, how many animals have to be killed for you, tortured for you? 5, 50, 100? I mean, what number is it? Again, what's so great about you? The universe wasn't screaming for you to be born, right? So you came here and you're just gonna exploit and kill? Can justify your. What are you doing that's so worth killing an animal for? So we're smarter than them, therefore we're allowed to somehow use animals for human benefit? Oh, this is too stupid. Natural, oh no. Natural order? You can't be serious, man. Predation consumption of other species is natural, yeah, and that makes it okay because it's natural. So somehow it's natural, therefore we can't do anything about it. I think it's only applied to nature because nature is natural. Humans are part of this and animals are resources, not rights holders. Fuck you. Yeah, black people are part of this natural order. Some species of ant will enslave other animals to do their work for them. Or am I thinking of the caterpillar? And there's some animals that will exploit and confuse animals to get them to work for them. I think a caterpillar tricks ants into feeding it and all this stuff. So that makes it okay. Black people are part of nature, and black people are resources. Therefore, they don't deserve to have any rights given to them. That's basically what you're fucking saying, you idiot. Speciesism as necessary? Some argue that prioritizing human interests is not inherently unjust, because humans have a higher moral standing. Why do they have a higher moral standing? Why do you have more value than an animal? Why? Because you're smarter? In what way? Explain this, retard. Contrasting with animal rights. Okay, so this is the animal exploitation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, where do these views play out? Okay. Okay. Humans have a higher moral standing. Based on what evidence? Based on what reason? Morals have to do with bad and good feelings, and you have proved that humans can feel pain, pain more than an animal can, and that's not justified. You can't, retard. I was hoping to find one of those plants have feelings arguments for veganism. Those are just so fucking dumb. Those are the dumbest. The plants have feelings. But maybe in another video I'll address that. I think that'll be end of video. Yeah, so maybe not the most articulate video, maybe not the most interesting, but a video that I feel needs to be made. So here it is, made. Plan on making some other videos. Maybe I'll make some more animal rights videos, but I plan on making like an anti-natalist / efilist video for sure. A right to die one. So stay tuned for that, I guess. So sorry for all the pausing, but okay. So I think that's all I needed to say. So end the video.